with a question mark beside it. That's your channel.
Did you catch that? About that.
It's the channel called Did You Catch That?
Thank you. Search, did you catch that? The video is There's Predators Among Us.
Hello and welcome back to Did You Catch That? The channel where we somehow always end up having to deal with some of the biggest pieces of shit YouTube has to offer. And on this episode, we're going to do a deep dive on a decrepit man known as Griff, aka the real Griff, aka Grinder Griff, aka Grifter. We're going to go through all of the evidence we have on this man. We're going to hear from his victims and discuss my own personal experience of being stalked by YouTube's most irrelevant predator. This particular predator is basically what happens when a narcissistic sociopath with a sex and drug addiction, as well as a deeply rooted hatred for women, gets a YouTube channel. Well, this one in particular decided to pose as a SA/DV/CA advocate.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? Today, this is going to be the start of tonight. Griff, I've told you to stop. I'm pulling out all stops. I'm not going to stop. You want to bring up old shit today? The only difference of what you're bringing up right now about the murder for hire, it's all bullshit. It's all lies. And you have no proof of that. Talking about the murder for hire, that's done been discussed, you dumb fuck. And what we're going to hear, let's replay this for a minute. Let's watch this. Let's replay this.
Did you catch that?
I want you, goodmorning.com. I want you guys to hear, I want to put this out here for the future females of YouTube and in real life. I want you to listen. This is coming from somebody, and I do got permission to use this, that has went through it with this man. And you're going to just listen. I started it over. I want you to listen. Good morning, Christine. Welcome. Hello, goodmorning.com. You're going to hear some crazy shit. And he says, good morning, Ben. I want you guys to listen.
Did you catch that with a question mark beside it? That's your channel.
Did you catch that? Well, she caught that.
It's the channel called Did You Catch That?
Thank you. Search, did you catch that? The video is There's Predators Among Us.
Hello and welcome back to Did You Catch That? The channel where we somehow always end up having to deal with some of the biggest pieces of shit YouTube has to offer. And on this episode, we're going to do a deep dive on a decrepit man known as Griff, aka the real Griff, aka Grinder Griff, aka Grifter. We're going to go through all of the evidence we have on this man. We're going to hear from his victims and discuss my own personal experience of being stalked by YouTube's most irrelevant predator. This particular predator is basically What happens when a narcissistic sociopath with a sex and drug addiction, as well as a deeply rooted hatred for women, gets a YouTube channel? Well,
Remember, this man does hate women. You're going to start seeing how he comes after women. This girl woman that's speaking, he not only come after her, he's went after several women, and you will be hearing from them. He's went on after Nicolina for no reason. Because the reason is doing what he's doing right now is because he don't want the truth to come out. He's trying to deflect from the truth. Well, guess what, Griff? Play what you want. I'm going to play what I want. You are a narcissist. You do hate women and you do drugs. You are a drug addict. And I feel sorry for you. Let's watch the video. Let's go. Listen, I want you guys to listen close. This is the start of tonight, Griff.
this one in particular decided to pose as a SA/DV/CA advocate. Yes, this man with a history of abusing women and children decided to become an advocate. His only experience in this particular field is being court mandated to domestic violence classes. Why would he go into this genre? He came into this genre specifically to garner an audience of mentally and emotionally and even physically vulnerable women. And we have been dealing with this for over a year and a half now. Throughout that time, we have pulled up some receipts. We're going to be going through official resources, government documents, court documents, civil documents. We're going to go through the entire criminal record. We're going to hear from family. We're going to hear from his online victims. There are so many people who have contacted us just to tell us what he's doing to them, and they've given us proof of it. A lot we've seen with our own eyes and have experienced personally. So we're going to go through all that and expose this piece of shit once and for all. A lot of you are already familiar that we had a conversation with one of his daughters. Yes, he does have more than one that is verified. But we didn't put out everything from that conversation. And at this point, we have been contacted by several family members.
You dumb bitch. I'm an abuser, all right, yeah. You need to be abused.
Now, as many of you may already know, Griff got most of his popularity by exploiting a...
Did you hear what he just said about you dumb bitch? You need to be abused. He was actually, that is a clip from Nick. He was talking to Nicolina. He's talking to a survivor like that. He told they was in a live, and this fucker thinks it's funny. He told her, "You dumb bitch, you need to be abused." He was actually talking to Nicolina whenever he said that.
A missing child's case, the case of Summer Wells. Now, originally, he started off just covering what was released by official sources, but he quickly jumped onto the bandwagon of not only giving outlandish theories about the case, he tried to start making contact with the family as well. He quickly realized that he would get more views if he also exploited drama with other creators. So it quickly went from him just covering a missing child's case to completely exploiting it, putting out misinformation. At one
Guys, too, this is what I said about him jumping on the. I witnessed this too. He jumped on the bandwagon of you grifting off of a missing child's name whenever he gives two shits less. He started this war with other creators. And at the time he did that, he was trying to set up a not a GoFundMe, but a way to set up like a food drive. And then it moved on to a money drive using this poor child's name. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Den. Good morning, there.com, everybody. But this guy was claiming he was going to move to Hawkins County. He had a you going to try to get a U-Haul and everything. But no, what he was doing, this is the time that he was sitting outside of his hotel. The owner was going to put his shit out because he was too fucking lazy to go do a man's job and making his own wife get out and hunt for money so they could keep the fucking hotel room. Well, just so happened he tried to jump on the bandwagon of Summer Wells. That didn't work out too well.
one point, he even claimed he found her and she was alive and safe. Originally, he was pushing the narrative that
You guys are going to hear that too. We'll hear videos and recordings of this man that's coming from his own mouth. That's why I say you give them enough rope, they hang themselves, you decide for yourself. The rope, like I said last night, is his old YouTube channels that's gone in the videos. And what the noose around his neck is like right here. You're going to hear all kinds of stuff against this vile, narcissist, women abusing piece of trash. And they claim, Batgirl, I hope you're watching close because you're going to see receipts that you said I didn't have. You're going to again say we don't got. Guess what? They're here, baby. They're here. And this is coming from one of his victims. A victim of this narcissist, this woman hater, the woman abuser. And it led on from his kids. People can get pissed if they want to. These are grown adult kids that has came out. Oh, they don't got no respect. Well, guess what? Just sit back, grab your fucking popcorn, and watch.
that the little girl was being rented out of her shed at the bottom of the hill and sold for illegal substances. But eventually, that didn't bring in so many views. So he switched his story or his narrative, whatever, and claimed that he had inside knowledge that she had been found. Now he was dropping these hints saying she's coming home, like dropping hints around it that she was okay, she was safe. And little by little, he started gaining more views because people wanted to know what he was talking about. And then he put out this video saying, I think she's here and I can't say how I know. But then he released a photo claiming that was her and she was alive and safe.
I don't think it's been sold. I don't think they told about it. I don't think they sold no drugs. I put Don out of that, but I think Don knows what's going on. He might not have liked it. He might have thought it was abduction. He might have. There's a possibility I don't have a clue what's going on. Well, he acts, but I just got, my gut tells me that there's a well-off couple that's not from around there, not from around Kingsport, not from around their house, but is affiliated with somebody that goes, is a member of the church that they got with. There's a well-off couple that needed a child. They want a child. Couldn't get a child. Be it what it may, maybe they couldn't get adopted. There's a lot, and that's about the best way they can do it. And they picked up. Somebody informed them about a couple that had 5 kids, 4 kids, small kids, and they made a decision. They done that. Now, by it all being made, that they ain't told the truth what's going on. They lied to the law. I'm gonna tell you, that's why you ain't gonna see no outplay. You ain't gonna see no sign of a struggle. You ain't gonna see nothing at all. There ain't no sign whereabouts that child being nowhere near that property. It ain't gonna be there. It ain't gonna happen. That child ain't on that property. I guarantee you. That child, she's alive. My gut tells me that child is alive and she's thriving.
Well, shortly after that, he released this photo and said he got it from this secret super source in law enforcement, and she is alive, and this is her. She's been found. She's safe. This was over a year ago. This child is still missing. This was completely photoshopped, but whatever he can do to get those views and make that money, he's going to pretend like he has this super secret knowledge, and he found her. He's this great investigator. No, he exploited a missing child's case, spread a bunch of misinformation, and interfered.
Yes, and that he did, guys. He interfered whenever it come out about Summer Wells. He caused chaos among other creators. He jumped on this bandwagon just for clicks and views. He can give 2 shits less. Only thing, like I said a while ago, he was doing was trying to rake in his money, just like because was homeless at the time. He was living in a camper, which he did not buy now. But anyways, he jumped on this bandwagon to scam the parents of a missing girl, a missing child. That's exactly what he intended to do. He was not going to give them the food out of a food drive. He wasn't going to give the money to these people that he got. He was going to keep it for himself. He's a grifter. And you're going to hear more. Just listen. We're going to play a video. This is the first video. And just sit back and watch, Batgirl.
With a ongoing investigation, because they had to take the resources that were already stretched thin and redirect them to deal with all of these calls now floating into the TBI, submitting this picture, people sending in all these fake tips. So in between the true crime and all the drama he was getting involved in, he had his wife with him, and he would occasionally talk about domestic violence awareness and whatnot. And the drama had gotten so bad, and it got bad. So I told him, like, dude, why don't you just cut that out altogether and just focus on that? If you just focus on that, people won't have any reason to talk about you. You won't be involved in the drama if you just focus on the DV awareness with your wife and then just the true crime. And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'm just going to leave the drama all out of it and do this instead. And I'm like, cool. So I get together a bunch of resources to go on panel with him. And I got different phone numbers and all kinds of places like food, clothes, all kinds of resources to distribute to these women. Now, he wanted me to tell my story, but I haven't even told my story on my own channel. I was willing to talk about how I was able to get out of there and provide all the resources that I used and distribute them So he was going to have another chick come on instead. Well, he was having people send in their stories so that they can tell them. And I thought that was inappropriate. I thought it should be with a woman. I was like, yeah, if it's your wife, that's fine. But the women were supposed to be anonymous, and they weren't. So he's having this chick on, come on panel, tell her story. Come to find out, she was never coming on. The whole thing was an act, like just so he could go on panel and admit that he had a history of domestic violence charges. Come to find out, they were way worse than just domestic violence, way worse. And start justifying why it's okay to abuse women, and gave like 3 different stories.
This is just laying out the foundation of what is to come, about the abuse, about the domestic violence, about the abuse of the women, the conversations that the daughters came out with. And this is just the start of it. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Night Owl. Redstone, welcome. Welcome. And this needs to be put out. I mean, he is a narcissist. This is just laying out the foundation, Griff. We've just got started.
For how he ended up with DV charges, which I was able to get the actual story too. I was already nervous because I'd never been on a live before. That was really nerve-wracking for me. Plus, it's a really sensitive topic. And before that, like, the whole purpose was to get away from drama. The women were supposed to be anonymous. None of them were. Like, everything was going to shit. Him and Doug got into a fight, and Doug went to do this.
And you noticed you're going to notice that it's all about the women. He wants to hear their stories so he can turn them around and use them to weaponize himself, like, with their own information. That's why it's not good to give this man no information whatsoever, because it will, and he will, and it can, and he'll do it, use it against you.
Same thing. And Griff's like, oh, you stole my idea. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Why is this a competition? What the fuck? They're fighting over it already. And this was supposed to be completely drama free. And now you're starting a full blown fight. There was like three video of him bitching about it. It's like, so what? What does it matter? That's not the point. I was concerned for the women on Doug's end, that's for sure, but it wasn't the point. So I'm thinking this girl's coming on. She never.
Yeah, he started right there. He's, like I said a while ago too, you're going to hear where he started with other creators because of this. And it's mainly for the views and to harass women.
Never comes on. The whole time he's ranting about his DV charges and justifying it and making all these excuses. Oh, it's fucking disgusting. I never even got to give out the resources. Like, I just put them out on my own after that. So once I realized, like, that whole thing just like a fucking scheme so that he could justify his criminal charges, like, oh, I was sick to my stomach. That was the most disgusting thing I'd ever experienced online. And
Good morning, Peach Punch.
well, apparently I ended up finding out that there was somebody else who had gotten a hold of his criminal record and was going to expose him, and that was the rush. Somebody called the Watcher, got his criminal record, and was going to expose him. So he used me as a prop to beat him to it and try to justify it. I about lost my faith in humanity over that. I did a video explaining why I'm not coming back over there. Like, I'm not having that shit. That was fucking disgusting. You can't justify that to me. Like, I I got straight up used by a fucking predator to gain an audience and credibility with vulnerable women. And it was horrible. Like, I felt like I was responsible for the women that ended up being blackmailed by him because they, even though they weren't supposed to, a lot of them sent their stories to him and he ended up using it against them. These are the charges he was so desperate to cover up or justify, whatever. And yeah, it was like aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, like all kinds of shit. It was way worse than just a simple assault charge. Like there's a lot more on his record. These are just the DV related charges. After I stopped talking to him though, because I never wanted to talk to him again after that shit, he started making these videos, you guys, and it made me so uncomfortable. Like, he was crying, saying how much he cared about me and how much he missed me, and he loved me like a daughter, and he just wanted me to come back. He had a woman emailing me, trying to justify why he did what he did, and asking me to just talk to him. Like, dude, it was so fucking creepy. And like I said, I never even like had a private phone conversation with this dude, and like he just would not stop. And I had pretty much left YouTube for a couple months after that, and he was still going, doing all that. Now he deleted all those videos because that don't fit his narrative. No, but fortunately for me, like he didn't know my story. All he knew.
Unprivate the videos, Griff. Unprivate the videos. Why don't you? Come on, Griff, now. Unprivate the videos. You won't do it. Won't you show the truth, Griff?
Was
And if you don't think that there ain't no videos, he actually brought it up on his live last night. Why should I unprivate the videos? See, if you give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves, as I love saying. And he actually brought it up on his live last night about videos. What videos, Griff? I thought you didn't have no videos, Griff. Unprivate those videos, Griff. Why should I have to unprivate them? He said. Well, prove I'm lying. That'd be one start. You want to start dragging out stuff, that's where I'd start at, wouldn't you? Well, if they're saying all this stuff and I've got videos to prove otherwise, but though they're private, I'd unprivate them motherfuckers. So there. Unprivate them.
is that I had been trafficked. Because he had his wife by his side, like, and that's what she was there for. She was there to get information from these women that didn't feel comfortable disclosing it to the men. That was her purpose. So, yeah, he tried to, like, I don't know, blackmail me into being quiet, but I was just like, fuck it, dude. So, once I went and talked to him, that's when the attacks started. When he realized I wasn't gonna respond to him, when I didn't want anything to do with him, he had his wife to give him that information to try to hurt me. That was his whole purpose, and that's why he does those videos, the trafficking awareness. That's specifically just.
Yeah, he'll use his wife as well to gain information for his benefit, for his, I'm going to say, to get off on so he can weaponize himself, so he can attack these innocent women. Innocent women, and he uses his wife and uses them. Oh, I want to put your story out. I'm a sex advocate. Or you're going to also hear where he calls this same survivor that has had it happen a prostitute. You're going to hear all kinds of shit.
Us to try to hurt me because he knows I care about that topic. So he makes a fucking mockery out of it. He did this one where he was like outside and in the rain, walking at night, panhandling and saying he was raising money for human trafficking awareness while talking shit about me. Because of her, he knew I had been raped and called me a prostitute. Because of her, he knew.
Do you hear what she just said? She is a survivor. He did make a mockery of it, and he still makes a mockery of it today. All you got to do is watch him. He called a survivor that has actually had it happen a prostitute, somebody that has been a sexual victim. He'll use it against. That's why he was a digging for their story so he could use it against them. Innocent victims, he makes a mockery of it. Exactly. Doug ain't the only creator he's come against. Let's move on to the story.
Knew that another woman had been abused by her ex, so he just said she wasn't abused enough as a way to try to hurt her. He takes these women's trauma and uses it against them, tries to blackmail them. And that's why he was so desperate to try to find my address, because he knew that I was in hiding. And that was, in his mind, the only way to get me to shut up. But yeah, after I said what I said, I took a break from YouTube for a while. And when I came back, I was doing my own thing, talking about my own topics. But he was steadily coming at me. I've ignored him for months at a time, and he just does not stop. He's obsessed. Like, this is just one of the examples of him trying to taunt me, But fortunately, like, nobody ever had any, details of it. And, I mean, all he could really do was, just make shit up, which, whatever, dude. I don't care. You lie relentlessly, anyways. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But yeah, I've never even talked about it on my own channel because now I know people like him, they exist. They will use your trauma to extort you. Now, it's important to note that I in no way was the only person dealing with this. Poor Joan, Joan Spring, she got a lot of it too, but she she had her own dirt on him. He had accidentally messaged her instead of his wife, and in the message he was telling his wife, well, her, to eat shit and die. He had admitted to her that Ernie didn't really get him fired from his job. See, right before we left, he
is, in fact, abusive to his wife. She's scared to death of him. But though she still continues to stay there, I don't understand it. And it, like I said before, too, he's been lied before, went into drunken rages, and taking it out on her. He's actually shut his channel down, broke his laptop, all while in a drunken rage. And I can imagine what that woman went through after he did that. And she's afraid to tell. She is afraid of this man.
he started saying Ernie got him fired from his job publicly on YouTube. but behind the scenes admitted that that wasn't really true. Well, then right after we left, he started grifting. He started making a bunch of money off of it.
He claimed he did. He claimed Ernie got him fired. Claimed he had voice recordings. Guess what? He never brought that out. And then he brought out that it all was a lie. You'll see.
He created this sob story about how he lost out on his holiday pay and wasn't going to have anywhere to live, all because Ernie got him fired from his job. Well, we're watching this knowing Ernie didn't get him fired from his job. Like, I had seen the communications myself, and he said Ernie didn't get him fired. He made all that up, but started using it as a way to make money and scam people. People thought he was going to be homeless on Christmas, and they started donating money. And this comes into play too, because when he was saying Ernie got him fired from his job, it was and started making all that money. It was around Christmas time, and his daughter had just given birth to a premature baby, and he used that as another way to make money. And all because he said Ernie got him fired from his job. He was scamming, running so many scams. Like, you're gonna see how many like levels this scam goes, because it goes so deep, and he made so much money off of it. It's ridiculous. And admitted that wasn't even true, but she knew that it wasn't true. So he was trying to harass her into being quiet. And apparently it was also fault that I blocked him on YouTube and everything and didn't want to talk to him. It was all her fault. Like, yeah, it was just really out there. He just wanted to make her be quiet about all the stuff that she knew. So not only, she knew that he was lying about the reason, he lost his job. He's making all this money off of it. She has the proof. He's texted her thinking it was his wife and saying some like horrendous things. And he was also, when he did still have a job, making these inappropriate phone calls while he was in a hotel on the road.
Griff, unprivate the videos where you claimed Ernie got you fired. Prove me wrong, Griff, please. You got the videos. Prove this wrong. You can't. You cannot. Unprivate the videos. That's all you got to do. You used Summer. You used Ernie. You used supposedly being homeless. Unprivate the videos, bro.
Her in the middle of the night, trying to start the conversation off, like letting her know that his wife wasn't around. And she's like, well, how's your wife doing? And, trying to get away from that because, yeah, no, completely inappropriate. Okay, so this is some of the dirt she had on him. He's making these posts saying he lost his job and everything. I got screenshots of like 3 different posts of him saying he lost his job. He's here making fun of one of them for working at Grubhub, but this motherfucker can't keep a job at all. And we'll find out why shortly, because we're gonna go through his record. So here's one. Here's another.
And guys, whenever this is over, I'm going to give it out to where you can find this at, which some may already know from one of his victims. I want you to go watch it for yourself where you can read this. I'm sure I can barely read it, but because it's so small, but I want you guys to go read this yourself. I'm going to tell you guys where it's at. Let's move on with the video.
one, this was from his wife, Pam. She's complaining they can't pay the bills now because of Ernie and all of this. Here's another one. You little soda piece of shit. Now I won't be getting my 20 hours of holiday pay because of your freaking low life ass. Thanks for costing me over $900. Oh, do you think I'm just gonna let this ride? Dude, he really got into character there. But somebody had asked him, "Hey, did you really lose your job?" And this was his response. He's saying, "Oh no, he has no clue where I even work." Well, that's when we start stumbling onto the scams, and
You're going to see whenever you go check this out for yourself that he did in fact say Ernie got him fired, and then he slipped up and said, "Oh, he don't know where I work at."
yeah, here's another one of Pam admitting he never even lost his job. She's also saying they got a beautiful home on the Florida Georgia line. Well, no, they don't own any property. That was not true. But yeah, he never lost his job. So it was this is like right around the time we had left, and we knew that he was lying about this, but I mean, you know, at that point, it had gotten so bad. Like Joan was being harassed nonstop when we first left, and I guess he blamed Joan for me not talking to him anymore. Because I'm obviously not a grown adult capable of making my own decisions. So she was being harassed endlessly, and he's doing these videos. Oh my god, you guys, they're all gone, but let me just tell you how fucking cringy it was. It was so.
Good morning, sweet Katie. How are you? Griff, unprivate your videos. You said before, "Oh, I don't got no videos," but last night on your live, whenever I ruled your fucking channel one more night, one more time, why should I have to unprivate my videos? Right here's why. Prove me wrong. All this is your conversation, Griff. You are a predator.
So creepy. So he's like, oh god, he was saying he was heartbroken and he missed me so much. I never even talked to this dude on the phone. It was so creepy hearing that. And he's blaming Joan for me not talking to him anymore, acting like she stole me from him. I don't even know this fucking dude. And these are public videos. It was so creepy. I was so creeped out by the whole situation. I just wanted to be left alone. I wasn't even really on YouTube at this point. And on top of that, so I uploaded these already. Dude, he was having women message me because I wasn't talking to him. So he started having women, female supporters, message me on his behalf, asking me to just contact him, to just please talk to him. What the fuck? This is a married man who I don't know. I've never had a private conversation with this dude, and he's making public videos talking about how devastated he was and he loved me like a daughter. Oh, it was so creepy. I made a video a few months ago, stop saying that shit. That's so weird. You don't know me. I don't know you. Leave me alone. And now he's got women messaging me. Now, keep in mind, he's had women messaging me for the past year and a half. This never stopped. There's still women messaging me for him. Still. It's fucking weird. On Messenger, through my email. He's got women trying to find my address, my phone number, obsessively, looking for a way to get a hold of me. And I don't watch his videos, so he.
Thank you, sweet Katie, for dropping the link. Guys, I want you to go after this is over and watch for yourself. Watch her videos of Survivor, and there's several survivors from this dude. The Grifter, the Griff. He's had so many channels. This is why he deleted them. He don't want this. A lot of these that's here is on what they put out is on other channels he's deleted, or the other videos he privatized. Unprivate the videos, Griff. I'm calling you out. Unprivatize the videos. Thank you, sweet Katie. She dropped the link in chat. Did you catch that? And you'll see all this for yourself. Be able to read all the bullcrap. I'm doing this because these women are victims of a predator. He can say what he wants to about me being a predator hunter and all that. I can care fucking less. He's trying to deflect from the truth. He's trying to deflect from what's going to happen and what is happening. He always has been like this, and he always will be like this. He's a grifter, he's a harasser, a narcissist, and an abuser. And we'll get to that. This ain't the only video, guys. This ain't the only video. All this ain't all. He only wishes that it was all.
He has these women contact me. Oh God. And wait till you see like how fucking bad this gets, because I'm gonna pull up some of these messages and you guys can see like to what lengths he goes to try to get in contact with me. It's fucking disturbing. And this whole time, like fucking maps of Joan's house are being posted, and like her phone number, all kinds of shit. Like he's like really going after her. And once he realized like I wasn't gonna fucking talk to him, then he started like harassing me and coming after me, like thinking, he could just abuse me so much that I would finally give up and talk to him. And we're gonna go through some of this. And I'm not the only woman he did it to. Before I left, it started exposing somebody called Ernie Shaw, which is basically just another scam artist clock who was pretending to be a bounty hunter who's interfering in the same missing child's case. Another story for another day. But I had created this private Facebook group where I started putting all of my receipts on this person so that they would be available. And well, he ended up taking them to claim as his own, because he's this great investigator. So Griff stole those to use as his own and got in contact with my source and took off once I left and tried to pretend like he had found all of that on his own. Whatever, I really didn't care. But it definitely led for some laughable moments. So now we got to talk about the tales of the lichen.
Your goddamn fucking credit on my goddamn island. This my pedo island, motherfucker. My pedo island, motherfucker. I live there. You don't fucking belong there, you cunt.
Well, howdy, you guys. So, who remembers when Tales of the Lichen was on Facebook before they came to YouTube? See, back then, before they were sucking Ernie's ass for super chats, they were trying to prove that he was trafficking children. But, anyways, so back then, Griff was a part of it. And I got all these private messages between his top mod talking about giving info over to Kemper and Jimbo. I got private messages between Jimbo and Griff, like and some old receipts that I never used that, like, fuck it, let's go ahead and drop them. So we're going to make use of these, and we're going to go back and we're going to talk about how this shit happened.
You're always grabbing content, bro. Always use it.
Okay, that's where we're gonna go with this.
Yeah, it is.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, buddy. Ever since I got involved in this, it's about one thing, one thing only: bringing him down, whatever piece we can.
Just like when one of Ernie's victims reached out to you.
This is all about Ernie. He's trying to get information.
I'm asking you a question, dude.
Yeah, but you're not asking. You're asking what kind of a.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Okay, as you was.
You reach out, or actually a victim of Ernie's reaches out to you in fear of Ernie. And you ask that person for hotel money, for cash out, including myself.
What are you talking about?
Bro, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Griff. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
And your point is what?
The point is you're fake. All you're trying to do is build your little channel.
Okay.
And you don't want the truth.
What are you trying to do, Ernie? What are you trying to do? Little Ernie, what are you trying to do?
Months ago.
What are you trying to do?
Months ago.
You didn't have proof. You had allegations. You had
motherfucker. I had every bit of the content
that would not come forward and have still not come forward, man.
Yeah, you did.
Why didn't you try to address those things? You got information I've got that you've left me that you have never brought out to public yourself. Like you wanted me to put it out there and let me stand up.
Tell me what it is then, Griff. Call me out then, dude. What information did I give you that we haven't made public yet?
I'm not going to bring it up on this channel. I can come over here to distract. I'm not going to come over here to distract from what this channel is trying to pull because of your ramroddery and what you're trying to do. You're promoting. You're still trying to find your position on that show in the fall, then go with it. I can tell you're still looking for that shot. You probably got that shot. It's all part of it.
Okay, y'all. So in order to do this and cover all our bases, to travel back in time to when Griff was still pretending to be a human trafficking awareness advocate. So let's go.
Good morning, Izzy.
Oh, what the fuck? Is this his jail cell? We went back too far, y'all. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Close.
Good morning, Pandora. Good morning, Izzy Pop. I appreciate you guys coming over and telling me good morning and hello. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a good morning.
Close enough. Sorry, you guys. Time travel just has not been perfected yet. But close enough. Real quick, let's do a recap up to this point. So it was like last year. I was brand new to YouTube. And I see Ernie Shell on Facebook, and he's photoshopping these pictures of Summerwell, saying he's found her. He's interfering with an active investigation. Like, this dude's shady as fuck. Well, I started debunking his pictures that he photoshopped, claiming he found her. He got pissed off. They posted a picture of my son on Predator Hunter Nation's Facebook, and I told him he'd regret it. Long story short, I created a private Facebook group. I started storing all my receipts in it and made the mistake of inviting Griff to it. At that point, Griff had no interest in exposing Ernie Shell because he was making enough money milking the Summer Wells case and exploiting it. So, he was just in the group. He wasn't doing anything with it. But
this is the time that he was on remember I said he went after Ernie. He's jumped on the Summer Wells case, and he comes after these women.
in the group was also Matt Kemp. Once I had posted that initial highway run video, he saw it blow up and he wanted in on it. So he, whatever, I don't know, went behind my back and started talking to Kemper, which is whatever, and Kemper decided he had a bigger channel, so he was just going to go with him anyways. And Griff lost a lot of subs when him and Doug broke up, so he just stole my shit. Now, obviously, we all know both these dudes are shady as fuck at this point, but back nobody even knew who Matt was. Like, I went sleuthing and came across him. And so after I released that, well, a couple videos actually, he met Griff and decided to go with Griff because he had a bigger channel. Funny how that worked out, huh? Yeah, karma's a bitch. But anyways, so rather than just say like a adult, hey, you know what? I'm gonna work with him. He has a bigger platform. He can get it out there better, which would be a normal thing to do. I wouldn't have cared. He decided, well, let's try to get Ernie to take her out for us. And they tried doxing me and all kinds of shit to Ernie. It was just weird as fuck. So yeah, a lot of Griff's receipts that he put out on Ernie were taken from my Facebook group, and then he just claimed it as his own work. This motherfucker can't even use Google, but he expects people to believe he found all this shit. He didn't even know who Ernie was. Another person, I gave him an opportunity to get in on exposing Michael Dula, that pedophile. He didn't want to touch that. And since then, he's come out defending several other child predators, which really makes me raise an eyebrow about that shit. But once he got all my receipts, started claiming them as his own, they started doing this Tales of the Lycan thing on Facebook, and it was just fucking laughable. So stupid. Like, we were cracking up watching it because it was just so out there and stupid as fuck. Like, straight up QAnon shit.
He's watching. La la la. La 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 la. He's lying. He can't stirs. That's cool. His one feeling.
Well, Mike.
I didn't hurt his feeling. Bama did.
I understand his feelings.
Yeah, he did. You upset? No, he's. I can't hear you. My lipstick's. Problem. Shit. Address unknown.
So there were many instances of Griff also claiming that Ernie Shell was involved in the disappearance of Summer Well. He would say it during videos and he would leave these cryptic posts, but then he'd go on to the Tales of the Lycan Facebook and accuse him of not only being responsible for the disappearance of Summer Wells. Oh no, you guys, it's so much deeper than that. Not only did he have a heavy involvement in that little girl's disappearance, but he's doing it across the country. They were saying that he was a part of this huge human trafficking organization. Not only were they saying that, they were dropping missing children by name and directly accusing him of being responsible for these disappearances. Except a lot of the time, the children ended up being found safe, and this person was responsible. Like, it was so bad, you guys. Like, they had these charts, and he was here when this kid went missing, he was here when this kid went missing, and it all kind of came to head when there was this missing child, and they did this live stream, and there were these posts. He said, oh, the one time I wish I would have been wrong. He was. But he was saying, Ernie was responsible for this child's disappearance, and he's trafficking these children. Well, that child ended up being found safe just a couple hours after this live stream. And being the great investigator that he was, he didn't even get basic details of like this child's description right. He had no interest in the child, like, at all. It was all for drama views and clout. It was just all an act. So he didn't bother getting details of the child right, pronounce his name correctly, like, but he knew who did it. But then the child was found safe. So they deleted that live stream very quickly. And oh my God, it was just stupid.
Griff, put that video back up. I'm calling once more, Griff. Unprivate the videos. That's all you got to do. Let people see the real you.
And during this time, I had also found out he was stealing from a woman with cancer, and we're gonna have to get into that too because they tie together. Okay, so this is a private message between.
Thank you, Izzy Pop. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. He is weird, Night Owl. He is violent. And as we go along through this, you'll see the domestic violence charges and all that. I love you too, Izzy. Now let's back to the video. And you notice, Night Owl, you're female. I mean, that's what he loves attacking is females. And guess what, guys? His daughters are females.
Between him and uh Jimbo, and he's saying, "Hey, what happened to that live from the other night?" Well, like I said, the child ended up being found safe, like right after that, so they took it down. Let's see. Okay. Now, here's this him saying, "The one time I didn't want to be right, I felt in my gut and almost could see this little boy at the moment he was taken." Well, this is the little boy they went on to say Ernie had kidnapped for trafficking purposes.
And furthermore, this is what's wrong now, too. Him wanting to jump on these cases, and he has no fucking clue, just like the kid that he claimed, oh, they've been kidnapped, but not too long they was found safe. He never put out the right information, for one. He needs to stay the fuck off child cases, among other people, does the same fucking thing. They need to have no right is trying to destroy these cases, and Griff's one of them.
And this is us calling him out. So, brown hair, brown eyes, get it right. It's important. Like he didn't even get the description right. And somebody else calling him out. And then me commenting on that, on their comment, saying, well, that didn't fit their narrative, for their conspiracy theory of Ernie's trafficking ring. And I was like, because he's always talking about, oh, that's slander, that's defamation. Like, well, no, literally, that's what you just did. Like, you accused somebody of trafficking a child, and the child was found right away. Here's somebody saying, well, he's been found safe, so I'll wait for your reaction to the false assertions that he was kidnapped or the lawsuit that is bound to catch up with your ridiculous conspiracy theories eventually. Oh my God. Like they went in so deep on this. And then right after, like the kid was found. So stupid. Here's somebody, Joan, correcting him on that. Look, it's unbelievable. The one time you didn't want to be right, you weren't. Oh, my stomach feels sick. I believe you're right. Oh my gosh, so stupid. Oh my God. Can I share with another creator, the Enchanted Life Path? That's another one that's known for his ridiculous conspiracy theories. He's saying, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he does. He would strike him. That's for sure. Guess what? He was wrong again. Elijah has been found safe. Okay, so here's the rest of that. Bama asked us to take it down because she's in trouble over it. Well, the kid was found, you know? Oh, dear God. Okay, now this is going back to DMs with Jimbo because in here he's also claiming that he's being hacked. Yeah, so they took down the video because obviously there was some issues with it. And now he starts crying about money and everything.
That's what it's about, is
And
the money. He
I'm
can care
sitting
much
here with a
less.
hacked phone, hacked bank accounts, and my channel has been deleted. Well, here he's saying it's Benny, but on YouTube he was saying it was me. Oh, and the Russians. Let's not discount the Russians. You know, they're very skilled. But mind you, he's accepting cash apps. You know, he's messaging on his phone.
See, guys, here's another one of his victims. A female.
Like, he's still doing live streams. Like, literally nothing's changed, but okay. And he's able to message and ask for a virus, you know. Oh, here we go again. I've been dealing with a hacker all weekend. Firsty, my phones, then deleted my YouTube. Well, so he's got 3 YouTube channels, right? He's referring to his main YouTube channel, which is still available. Yeah, he put it on private temporarily while I was exposing him and then put it right back on. This is so stupid. He's literally using his accounts to send these, but okay. His supporters are stupid as fuck. How in the world? Well, let me answer that. It didn't happen. Stupid. He's about to beg for money. Hold on. Let's back up because that caught my eye. I haven't done a thing to deserve this. Bro stole from a woman with cancer and then put her address out, knowing that she was a domestic violence survivor, hoping to scare her into being quiet. But okay, sure. So stupid. I'm pretty sure Jimbo knew this was bullshit, but he's just going along with it because what else are you going to do, you know? I mean, okay, so completely unbeknownst to me at that time, his top mod, who goes by the name of Hanlon, had been privately messaging them, and oh my god, she was like saying, I got all this dirt on him, and, if you just contact me, I can send it all to you. She's also emailing me, pretending she's in fear of her life, that Griff was stalking her, and she's just one of his victims. She's doing the same thing here. And then I later find out she's sending it to other people too. And she keeps insinuating that Griff's brother is a sex offender. I've never verified that. I really, I don't know where she's getting that from. But yeah, she's saying, I'll send you proof, like whatever you want. And oh, by the way, can you talk to Jamie for me? Like around this time, I tried to tell Jamie, like, he's working with Ernie and Tina, and I had screenshots showing like he was talking with them, But yeah, she's like, she did a background check on even Griff's daughter, because he needed her information to harass her too. Like, and is sending all the stuff. You're saying my friend Steph was supposed to email you. Steph says she wasn't going to do it. Oh, this is just wild. I can resend them if she didn't do it. Well, she already told you she wasn't going to do it. But yeah, so this is how all that shit went down, where he got called out for being a scammer, because she sent this dude like all the proof that he was scamming people, and sent his background information, all of his criminal records. Like, it was this top mod who exposed them to the tales of the Lincoln members, and he was booted for that. It was definitely something else.
He even scammed a woman that had cancer, guys. You're going to hear that too. Thank you, sweet Katie. I appreciate you guys. Did you catch that? They're dropping the links where you can go see for yourself, and there's other victims in this as well. You'll see for yourself.
And I didn't find this out until like way later. It was crazy. But yeah, see, he tries to say that he knew she was sending all these messages, but he looked quite shocked while he was being called out. Okay, so at this point, we had already gotten our hands on like his entire criminal record. So we're back in his jail cell now. So let's go ahead, take a look and see all the different reasons he ended himself in jail so many times. To start, this man who claims to be a domestic violence advocate has a lot of violent crimes against women on his record. First being misdemeanor battery, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. A man with a huge respect for law enforcement, but who also has aggravated assault on a police officer and criminal damage to property in the second degree. A man with nothing to hide, but has been extradited to different states as a wanted fugitive multiple times. Oh, he's not a con artist, but he has multiple criminal charges to writing bad checks, and the victims are listed as things like Walmart and the Piggly Wiggly. Also had his driver's license suspended and was arrested multiple times for failure to pay child support, but he's a great dad. 3 more examples of writing worthless checks to businesses. I'm getting a driver's license, and a history of theft and worthless checks is why he needed a female subscriber to sign for him to get a car, because he couldn't do it himself. Oh, for fuck's sake, another worthless check charge. Can somebody in the chat help me keep track of how many worthless check charges this dude has at this point? Holy shit. Aggravated battery causing bodily harm or disability. Principal to aggravated battery causing bodily harm. Simple battery, touch or strike, and inciting a riot. Dear God, yeah, what an outstanding citizen this man is. Really family oriented. Oh my God, I thought I was done. There's more. Hold on. All right, so simple battery, touch or strike, unlawful assembly, and alcohol possession by a minor. Now, this is important because you guys remember when he kept saying he only has 2 kids. No, this is the civil side. He was ordered to take a paternity test, which came back. That child was his. And he was ordered to pay child support, and he's been consistently arrested and had his driver's license suspended for failure to do so. He does have 3 children. Now, this is a criminal charge for failure to pay child support. And at this point, let's take a look at his outstanding balance. It is at $42,131.15. And this dude seriously made a post like saying that that wasn't his daughter. Even his wife has matching battery charges to go along with him. What a fucking joke. Okay, so now, according to his criminal record, like, he's infamous for running scams. He has his entire life. You know, he did the, oh, I was hacked, I need money scam. He's scamming, saying he's making money for human trafficking awareness. Right here, he said his dog needed emergency surgery, scammed a bunch of people out of that. And like we already discussed, he was never hacked. It was him who was trying to hack other people to shut them up, myself included, about the scams he was running. And it's at this point he hooks up with one of YouTube's biggest scammers. His name was Brad. He went by 423 Chase, and he collected a bunch of money saying it was going for billboards for this missing child, Summer Wells, pocketed all the money, stealing money from female subscribers, and Griff hooked up with him. Before I forget, it was also around this time when he first hooked up with Brad. He started saying that he was going to start a food drive for the mother of this missing child. So send in your money and I'll get food for her. Well, obviously she didn't get that food.
What she's talking about here is Summer Wells. He tried to jump on that train. He scammed a lot of people over this poor little girl missing kid. And it's just ridiculous that he is even still on YouTube.
Doing it in a road trip type of deal. We are literally renting a U-Haul van. Make this trip in. And we're going to load it up. And we're going to head. And where we end up, our destination.
Sorry about that, guys. I'll be right back. I got to go back to that video. Griff, remember that? Whenever you claimed that you wasn't. Oh, I didn't say I was going to move up there. Here comes the receipt, Griff. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. I accidentally kicked it out, but I'm sure it's still there. Whenever you claimed, Griff, I wasn't going to move up there, check this out. I'll be right back. I'm sharing it, guys. What you're going to see in this video is, in fact, what really happened. Coming from the man himself that said he never was going to scam up here. He wasn't going to travel to here. But though there's receipts coming, Griff. Check this out. Remember, I let you hang yourself. People let you hang yourself. Says the man, Griff. I told you I had receipts, and you claimed you wasn't going to move up here. You fucking liar. You narcissist. You was going to rent a U-Haul. Remember that, Griff? Remember that?
What we see, try to get some lives in, but we're gonna leave it up to y'all to try to figure it out. I just need your help. The situation we've been put in here lately, just a little bit of help. No big deal. Just hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal out. Just whatever you can afford. Ain't got much. Not asking for them. And we know everybody's struggling. We just need a little bit of help. And if we gotta pay it back, we will.
Did the I was hacked, I need money scam. He's scamming, saying he's making money for human trafficking awareness. Right here, he said his dog needed emergency surgery, scammed a bunch of people out of that. And like we already discussed, he was never hacked. It was him who was trying to hack other people to shut them up, myself included. Pocketed all the money, stealing money from female subscribers, and Griff hooked up with him. Before I forget, it was also around this time when he first hooked up with Brad. He started saying that he was going to start a food drive for the mother of this missing child. So send in your money and I'll get food for her. Well, obviously she didn't get that food.
Doing it in a road trip type of deal. We are literally renting a U-Haul van to make this trip in. And we're going to load it up. And we're going to hit. And where we end up, our destination, I'm not going to just tell you. We're going to be there by Sunday. But we're not going to tell you where we're going to be at. We're going to stop along the way. We're going to share what we see, try to get some lives in. But we're going to leave it up to y'all to try to figure it out. I just need your help. The situation we've been put in here lately, just a little bit of help. No big deal. Just hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal out. Just whatever you can afford. It ain't got to be much. Now, we're not asking for them. And we know everybody's struggling. We just need a little bit of help. And if we got to pay it back, we will. But if you can, we appreciate it. Don't worry about the super chats and shit like that right now, because it's going to be in the month before we get that. Bless her heart.
He ends up screaming at a woman for sending a super chat. Like, she sent $100 super chat and he started screaming at her. So he's super calm in this one. Wait to see the next live. Like, his drug addiction completely took over at this point, and he gets irate. So, according to Brad had sent him, well, according to Griff too, Brad had sent him $700 to go to Tennessee. And that's what this U-Haul road trip was for. He was going to Tennessee to hook up with Brad, which, as we all know, has a huge history of theft online. Like, he stole so much money in the Summer Wells true crime community, it's ridiculous. Now, Brad already gave him the money to go down there, so he's begging his subscribers for more money because he already blew all that money. Watch his jaw. It's just, look at that, swinging and swinging. Oh, God. That's so cringy to watch. Now, this is after that mandatory meeting. And now he wants more money. And he's going left. And he's about to scream at everybody for more money. Look at his jaw swinging. you know, they left the hotel. This is the lie where he tells everybody how the cops came and kicked him out the hotel. It's so bad. Look at that. So obvious.
Yep. That's whenever he had his wife out there doing whatever, whenever he should have been out keeping them a roof over their head. He'd rather be sucking off his subscribers and making her go out and do the dirty work. Think you're if you claim none of this happened. Batgirl, you claim none of this happened. Well, here's the receipts. Go check out for yourself. Remember the hotel I said they said was going to set their stuff out under the tree? Well, this is it.
Yes.
2 hours later.
Oh my God.
Am I still static? Okay. Before I get started in this today, out of the 10 people that's actually watching this right now is in the chat, which one of you haters? Can you go ahead and give me a one, get out of the way? Just go ahead and knock this out right quick because I'm not in the mood today. I'd rather just get y'all out of the way and let y'all get y'all little bashing out of the way and enjoy life and go on about my business because I'm not in the mood.
Always the
So if any of y'all are haters, can you please just give me a hey so I can tell y'all to kiss my ass and y'all can go on about your business because I'm not in the mood. It's not the day to play with me.
Hey.
I really am in a bind right now. And I don't give a shit who cares, who believes. No, because that's the situation I'm in. But that little bit of help he's getting along the way, stringing along, whenever the inevitable, the person don't realize the inevitable ain't never going to happen, but they keep assuming it is. They're making it worse on that person that they're actually helping. You understand what I'm saying? They're making it difficult because that person.
So what he's talking about is Brad, 423 Chase was his username. Brad sent him over $700 over the course of a couple weeks. That money was to be used for him to travel from Georgia to Tennessee. That's really not that far. And that would have been more than enough money for him to rent a U-Haul and go to Tennessee so they could start scamming people together because that's what they both do. They're both scam artists. Like, that's their criminal record. Like, that's what they do. Well, Griff blew the $700 and now he's on YouTube screaming at his supporters to give him more money because he blew that money. He needs more money to get to Tennessee. And, you know, he's yelling at them not to send super chats. You need to send me Cash Apps or PayPals. And you're going to see that. Like, he gets really irate. He's high as fuck. Look at his jaw swinging like that. Like, he blew the money. And now he's screaming at his supporters to send him more money. And he's mad at Brad for not sending him even more money. $700 is a lot of money to send to somebody you've never met. But that wasn't good enough for him. No, he wants more money. So not only is he screaming at his supporters for money, he's trying to like intimidate Brad into sending him more money too.
On the other end that needs that help, it's looking for that opportunity, is not wanting to cancel out that opportunity by going somewhere else. That would be looking at horse in the mouth. In other words.
So he's saying he's waiting on Brad to call him back about some job. But Griff waited weeks to even start to leave to go to Tennessee. He stayed there, partied it up, blew all the money, and then, you know, once time ran out, then he starts freaking out on his supporters and blaming Brad for not sending him the money again to get him down there. Now he's about to cry to his subscribers about how he's getting kicked out of the hotel and they're calling the police on him.
Telling y'all we get good day. I got straight, so I got a good idea what we're gonna do. Everything was looking positive. And then a knock at the door. Of course, it was 4:35 o'clock, 5:30 something. Knock at the door, and now I'm in another bind. I've got to get out. This man wants me out. This damn man that runs the hotel. After my wife, unbeknownst to me, my wife had already called and made arrangements with the women at the front desk, but they have failed to tell him information, and he don't speak real good English. So he is knocking on the door. I open the door. I got a dog in here raising that wine. He sees me packing shit up while I was talking and everything. And eventually, I got the chain on the door trying to talk to him. Look, man, hey. I'll be out in a minute. The dog's out here struggling. I'm trying to get stuff out of it. You got and I didn't know my wife had done called down and talked. Now I'm trying to explain to him. He understands damn word I'm saying. All he knows he does looking at his watch. I'm trying to go. Okay. I can't. I go ahead and shut the line now. Tell y'all about it. I appreciate it. Well, I'm trying to get everything put together. My wife calls me on the phone, tells me the situation she's running into down there. I'm telling her, look, we're in a bind here. This guy told me to get out. But this time, I knock the door. So I go back to the door. She tell me she's trying to get it done. She's been with us. Okay, so I'm thinking it's going to happen right now. Another knock at the door. Now you want me paying $35 to stay. I said, I don't have that money. Wife's got the money. She's behind a little bit. Well, you need to get out. I'm calling police. Okay. See, there's no give and take. I understand what's going on the other end that is causing me to be in a situation, mind you. But it's still the point. You know, you got people out there. You don't realize this is my scenario. I'm not you.
So it's the dog's fault. It's the man's fault. The dog's barking. The man doesn't speak good English. No, dude, you were supposed to leave and you didn't pay to stay. Like, so now he's back on the live stream, about to scream at them for more money, you know.
Used to this kind of shit. I'm not used to being able to not able to get a vehicle. I mean, we got our vehicle up here with us. When I had a vehicle, I've been.
He says, I'm not used to not being able to get into a vehicle. His license has been suspended for so long for failure of child support. He's not supposed to be driving a car.
Her story, she could have left what she was doing right there. She could have come home. We don't have that. We're trying to get that done. But me being stuck, apparently he hadn't, because now I'm still in limbo. And last night I had my shit on the side of the road, on the opposite side of the motel, matter of fact, because they wouldn't let me in the property with the cops watching me do it. Embarrassing fucking moment, folks. So any haters out there that want to go ahead and share that information, go right here. Not more power to you. Hope it makes you fucking day. That was an embarrassing moment. I am a man that has raised my children right.
No,
I've got grandkids.
Never mind.
I'm in a bad situation right now. It's my own fault. We're up here on the road. You know, I'm not.
He tries to portray himself like even his Cash App is Grifter. This man didn't raise his kids, and they're going to tell you themselves. Like, he was horrible to them, and this isn't the first time he's been in this situation. Like, no, he always ends up in this situation because he can't hold the job. He's always, you know, going on binges. Like, he does this to himself and then screams at other people to get him out of the situation. Oh, so he also blames the dog for being in this situation. So he did a live stream saying his dog was sick and needed emergency surgery. And, you know, he had to come up with all this money. And, well, come to find out, the dog never had the surgery. Like, even, you know, his top mods were saying, like, that was all fake. You know, like, they knew it was fake. And, you know, they saw the dog that night, like, apparently just had a major surgery, but he's running around, jumping, like, he was never sick. But he said he sold his car to pay for the surgery. I mean, he may have sold his car, but he didn't sell his car to pay for his dog's surgery. There never was a surgery. He posted some fake-ass vet receipt, but that dog never had surgery. It was another scam, and that was right before this. You know, I don't have a car because I had to have my dog get surgery, just exploiting people who care about animals, just like he exploits people who care about children, you know, and he made quite a bit of money off that. And yeah, just one scam after another with this dude.
That's where I gotta go. Some of y'all trying to be slick too, trying to get me to tell you where I'm going. And I told you I wasn't gonna do that.
He refuses to, he's asking people for their money to get him to where he's got to go, but he won't tell them where he's going because he doesn't want them to know that he is going to go hook up with YouTube's most notorious scammer.
Going, I told you I wasn't gonna do that. I'm trying to keep that secret just in case I can't keep this damn boat still above water. Y'all at least gotta give me that much benefit. I'm not trying to lie to you. I just don't want to give that secret up. Yeah. I want it to be a surprise if I get that far. But I know
it was a scam. That's all that was. So in the same live stream, he also admits to telling lies about a bunch of people. He refers to it as misleading stories and tried to justify it. Hold on, I gotta show you all the comments. I called that shit out. I said those misleading stories you told to keep things in line did serious damage to women who supported you. You hurt so many women just because it was more convenient to your narrative than to be honest. Now that you accidentally bumped into humility, why don't you offer a real apology to all the women you hurt, scammed, and lied on? And, you know, he's like, oh, I'm in this situation. But literally just the month prior, he was making fun of a single mom for, you know, struggling with poverty. Like, he was making fun of, like, he did multiple live streams making fun of her for struggling financially. And, I mean, everybody, literally, all of the comments, people are just calling him out. Like, oh, you're learning how to play the sympathy card very well, Grifter. Like, there was just so much stuff, you know. But we're going to go to the next one because he gets the U-Haul.
Now, in this one, he told everybody that he was stuck in Tennessee. He wasn't. He never even left Georgia. He was even like all that shit. He always talks shit about, you know, Benny, but he was sending his mods over into Benny's chat, begging Benny to send him money, begging him, which Benny did, and Griff never paid him back. He was supposed to pay Benny back. He did not.
No, I can't help. I got a kid in prison. Gets out March. I'm supposed to give him something. I was trying to give him something to look forward to. I got a prison, man, boy in prison. I got a daughter just had a baby, and she's trying to get back in. She's doing what she can when she's got. So no, I don't have children. Yeah.
That right there is actually very significant. Okay, so and his daughter that just had a baby. Now he's gonna go on and, you know, say, oh, the baby's premature and she really needs help, which was true. Yeah, she did have a premature baby, and yeah, she really needed help, but he kept all the money for himself. And, you know, he's saying he can't ask his daughter for money because, you know, she's already struggling as it is. He just asked her for $45, like right here. He asked her, she told us, like, he just asked me for $45. So, you know, your daughter's struggling in a bad situation. She just had a premature baby. And yeah, he did. He asked her for $45, which she didn't have. She was already struggling. He knew she was struggling, but he comes first, even with his own children. And some of the stuff he does to his children, we're going to get into here soon, because it's fucking disgusting what he does to his kids. So the guy, Brad, who gave him over $700 to travel there weeks ago, is watching him, watching this live where he's calling him a liar, saying he's just stringing me along. It was all a game. Like Griff had that money for weeks and decided to stay and party. And then once the money was gone, he wanted more. So now he's on the live right now and he's just bad mouthing this dude, which dude is a bad guy. He is, but he did give him $700. So dude's about to call him and confront him.
It's not him, but fucking trust me, it's somebody else. I don't know what else got him believe. All right.
Oh my God.
All right. That's all right. No, he said they got work's gonna be coming. Work's there, I'm gonna work. I ain't bashing but I'm trying to do my, we're stuck here and I got nowhere to go. So I need to figure something else. I ain't bashing about nobody. I'm just saying if I'm stuck here and I get it don't like it's gonna work out, I need to go home. That's the only reason you called was just because you seen you knew I was on live. Really? Because I'm on live, you called. I'm sitting there saying, scratching broke ass. They got nowhere to go tomorrow. And I told you to look with these people. Here we go with that. I told you, yeah, $700, damn right. I'm sure that out here. But that ain't helping me get nowhere else. Now I'm asking you now, do you have anything? Oh, we have anything. Fuck you, motherfucker. What do you think? Only reason he called was come on goddamn live. You don't talk about this kind of shit I'm dealing with. He's a fucking piece of shit. He only called because he finds somebody told him I was goddamn live, and he don't even have a clue I'm back. If I mention any fucking names, y'all, if I told y'all who I was talking about, but this motherfucker knows.
Right.
He knows who I'm talking about. He knows what he fucking done to me. He knows exactly what the fuck's going on. It's a goddamn game he's bragging about. I'm fucked here. I'm sitting here scratching broke ass.
He also claimed that he never got money from anybody. He also claimed that he never got money from Brad, but you heard it for yourself. He got $700.
I ain't got nowhere to go, and these motherfuckers still playing games with me. Fucking asshole motherfuckers, piece of shit. I'm tired of these people. I want to go home. Okay.
Oh, but he's not bashing nobody. And yeah, he did drop his name a few times and then denies that he ever dropped his name. But the rest of the live is like this. He's just screaming, raging, wanting money. And right there, he even said, bro, I gave you $700 on the phone. He's like, yeah, I know. I said you gave me $700. He never told anybody that he was given $700. Like that was the first time anybody heard about it. And he's also saying he's in Tennessee. I'm here to work. And now I got to get back to Georgia. He never left Georgia. So like after all the women he had been attacking and doxing and ripping off and blackmailing and extorting, like he was getting trolled a little bit, nowhere much as he deserved, but he was getting trolled a little bit. But not every single person in the chat was a clone or a troll or a spy, a hacker. Like, his paranoia was making it very obvious that, like, he was on something. All right, so all of his content at this point was pretty much the same. He was in like a psychosis. Like, he was so paranoid. He thought literally everybody who came into the chat was a clone, was a troll. They were all spying on him. All of his mods were spying on him. Everybody's leaking information about him. Like, people were becoming aware of like how paranoid he was and how that wasn't normal. Like, they could tell like he was something. There was one stream taker actually being concerned for life safety because he was about to hit her. Now, he ended that stream and cut that part out of it, but he like turned and cocked his fist towards her.
Not clone, you're a joke. You're a piece of shit. Runs around trying to act like somebody. No, I know who the fuck I'm talking to. Oh, I mean, okay, I got Grifter.com on my channel making myself like I got it cool. Are you really saying that? Did I do that? Fuck, man, come on now. Why am I making myself like I got it fool? These people are fucking with me and I'm making myself like I got it fool. Give it a damn break, woman. They don't give a shit about me or you. Fuck this shit, man. You really think that, don't you?
There was also this stream. I tried to find it. He probably deleted it, but he came on at night. He was heavily intoxicated. Like, he was drunk. And somebody had sent this to me while I was in bed at night, and I couldn't even like stomach it because he was talking about like the dramatic way he would discipline his dog in like great detail. And he was talking about hitting it and grabbing it and shoving its face into the carpet. I mean, like, it was violent and graphic. And it wasn't even necessarily like the way he was saying it and the smile on his face. Like, he was getting off by reliving that moment. And then he also started trying to encourage women to tell them their SA stories again. Like, he enjoys that. He gets off on other people's pain. Like, he uses the domestic violence and the SA stories and stuff like that to blackmail the women, to try to silence them and use it against them or twist it in some way, or twist the information to try to hurt them, like it was their fault that it happened. But on top of that, like, you can tell he enjoys hearing those stories. Like, he gets off on listening to women talk about their suffering and the physical violence they endured. Like, he enjoys it. He loves that. It makes him feel powerful.
Christine, this lady is a good lady, and the links in the chat. You want to subscribe to them, subscribe to them. These people are real life victims of grief. Plain and simple.
So in between all these like human trafficking lives and stuff, he also did this thing where he talked about this this Russian mirroring site, and he believed that one of his mods, just a normal woman, was behind this entire Russian mirroring site with like millions of videos somehow. And once it was like proven that this was, like this huge corporation, he said he was set up. That's his go-to every time he was set up to look stupid. It's all a conspiracy against him. Okay, so now, like, I got videos about him on my channel, but literally, no exaggeration, every single one of my videos is in response to at least 20 different videos that he's done about me. And I'm saying I've known him for months at a time, and every day it's just another video. And the majority of the time, I don't watch them. I to me, or screenshots. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about most of the time. I just ignore. It's not even worth responding to. It's stupid. So he's pretending to be this human trafficking advocate and all this stuff. He's running all these scams. At the same time, like being contacted by women on his behalf, trying to talk to me or get me to talk to him, or like privately in DMs on my Facebook, on the email that's in my about section, like nonstop being bombarded by. And then the woman who was pretending to be one of his victims and undercover, the stupid shit. It was pretty extreme. And we're watching all these other women being blackmailed, being set up in the same way, and it was just disgusting. Not to mention, he was also going on these rants, like saying very disgusting sexual like comments about different women. Like he had an entire live stream saying that Joan and some other woman were undercover carpet munchers, like basically calling them lesbians and making fun of it. They didn't even know who each other were, but they were conspiring with,
Do you hear that comment about like what she said about the basically call them lesbians? That's the same thing he was doing to traders, making fun of traders because of her lifestyle or the way she chooses to live. Or he actually put up a picture claiming that it was her, making fun of her life, making fun of way she wants to live or whatever, making fun of people's gender, making fun of their lifestyle. And that's what he's about.
like against him together. They were both extremely confused. The woman was like, "Who's Joanne?" in a live stream. It was just weird. And he's doing this to a ton of women, like screaming at them, making disgusting sexual comments, like, and he's an advocate. Okay. So we already released a lot of the private messages with his daughter on YouTube. We made sure we hid her name and everything, and like her private contact information. And well, he ended up doxing her like as payback after that. We're gonna get to that because he did some grimy shit to his daughter. But Joan had contacted his daughter and was asking her about that scam. When he's saying he lost his job, his daughter just had a premature baby, and she needed help, she needed money, people were sending in money. Even the woman who bought that painting, that money, like the reason she sent that was because of his daughter. She said she knew nothing about that at all. She doesn't even talk to him.
Thank you,
He
Christine.
didn't send her any of that money. And during that time, she had really given a lot of insight into him, like what kind of a person he is in real life. He was for her and for her siblings, and one of the most important parts is that she said, do not let him use us for his pity party. Like, no, like, I feel bad for people who believe him. Like, she wanted people to know who he really was, and she did not want him using her name and her picture and her children's pictures to scam women out of money. Like she said, I'm absolutely disgusted. She was embarrassed. She was mortified. So we're gonna do a quick recap of like what we went over live, and we're gonna get that out after live and what we found out after that, because we were still talking to her and we found out a lot more after that. And we're gonna go over all of that too. Okay. So at the beginning of the conversation, she had asked her, like, he said he was raising this money, selling paintings and stuff, and he was supposed to come, help you and come meet the baby and everything like that. And she said, no, he didn't. I haven't seen him since 2020. She's like, sorry, I was afraid of that. And oh, how can I do this? I don't send him money. I feel bad for the people who don't know any better. Um, she's not even surprised by this at all. She said he has a drug problem and has since I was in elementary school. He's also married. Did he, tell people that? Well, he said that because apparently, like, that's a thing he does. He tries to pretend like he's not actually married. Oh, and we're gonna get to that too. Yeah, she finds out that, like, Pam's a part of the scams, and she said, she wasn't that bad before they got married.
Now, this is actually from his daughter. The conversations with his daughter, because Griff is on here trying to grift people for money, using them for his clout, the scam. That's what this guy, he does. He has no remorse. He don't care who he scams. He'll even scam his own daughter, just like it's proven fact, $45, knowing his own kid is already having trouble and problems. But though it's like, I've got $1, Dad. I need it. No, I need it. That's the way this man is. That's the way he works, the way he thinks.
But he seems to have a pattern with that. Let's see. Oh yes, he was saying that he was trying to make his way to her. He said he was going to, I believe he said Florida. Um, he had no idea where she lived. She's like, I assure you, he's not coming here. Thank you, anyways, because he was saying, no, I'm on my way to go see my daughter, walking, and no. She's like, I assure you, he's not coming here. Well, it was because he had no idea where he even lived.
During this time, guys, he's using his daughter. He did not have no clue. And he was not coming to see her. He was just using an opportunity, a vulnerable opportunity, like in the situation she was in, of just having the child. And he's using that vulnerable moment to use her, but he wasn't going to see her. He was scamming.
She's like, it's not. I'm not like I don't care. Like she just wasn't surprised by any of this. Like, this is a repeated thing with him. Like, the YouTube part is new, but like, this is how he's been living his life for as long as she can remember. Like, he just constantly scams people. And he says he also has this great relationship with his grandchildren. We'll come to find out, like, he's only ever met her older child once. And when they came, they ended up having to leave right away. We'll get to that because she's going to mention it. So he's only met that child once. He's never met her other child. Here she says, no. Only time they ever slightly helped me financially was when she was coming out of a bad relationship. And she repeats, and I mean slightly. She said she's been on her own since she was 15 years old. And we're going to get to like how that ended up happening because it's heartbreaking. It's really horrible, like what she ended up going through. She said, I was homeless all the way through high school, pretty much. was listed as an unaccompanied youth. She got her associate's degree and was able to claim independent at 21 years old before I even had children, or she had children. So, you know, he tries to make her out like she's this bad kid, but she actually, you know, despite him, you know, she turned out to be, you know, like a good person. She's a good mother, you know. She didn't really
Hello,
have a
Genevieve.
relationship with her mom, at least not a positive one. And he was never there for her either. And here's where she tells us, like, has he mentioned my older brother has spent most of his life in prison? She said, my father beat him and got him addicted to drugs so that he wouldn't tell on my father for cooking meth. That's how he bonded with my brother. And now my brother is a lost cause thanks to my dad.
See, guys, he ain't no advocate of nothing. A man that'll take and do this to his own kids and get his own son addicted to drugs. No, I have not, Genevieve. A man that has got his son addicted to drugs and wants to use his daughter. Pathetic piece of garbage.
Like, that's a whole nother sad story. He was in prison at this time. And she said, like, do not let him use us for his pity party. Like, she did not want him to be able to use her family, her story, and her struggles to make money off of. Like, because he was, you know, using her actual hardship as a way to make money. Like, the only reason he even knew about, you know, what was going on with her was because of Facebook posts.
Told you. Griff, you're a coward.
He's always looking for a handout and refuses to work for it. She says she's disgusted. They have never even sent toys or clothes for my boys. No birthday cards, like nothing.
I told you so.
That was private information that he ended up having to have a woman do background checks on her and find out. So at this time, like, she was so upset. She's like, I'm so angry. Well, at them, I'm sure she meant. Apparently, remember when he was in the hotel begging for money, and he said he couldn't ask his daughter for help because she just had a baby and everything? He did. She says, they asked me for $45 the other week, knowing I'm on maternity leave and I'm using savings to just survive. They have no shame. Like, I don't want to bother my daughter. She's struggling as it is. He was trying to beg her for money, knowing how much she was struggling. Yep, he has a drug problem and got my stepmom and brother addicted. Well, Pam is her stepmom, and he'll never stop. I guess the first time he came to visit her son, he left early because they ran out. So withdrawal, he couldn't stay. And that was the only time he ever met that child. Barely stayed 2 days. You can hear it in his voice. I'm going to skip reading that part out loud. She said, it's very obvious to me because I grew up around it. I can't believe other people didn't notice it. I grew up around it. She grew up as a child around this stuff. We were trying to get her Cash App from her, and she didn't want to give it to us at first. But she said, I've been sleeping on couches since I was 14, 15, lived with boyfriends, and because of, how toxic a relationship was with him, like, a pattern.
See, guys, remember whenever I said she slept on couches since she was 14 or 15? Right here in her own words. What man? That ain't no man. What pathetic loser? What? I just don't get it. Why would you have your kids living like this? Why, Griff? You claimed this never happened. You claimed I didn't have no receipts. You claimed nobody had no receipts. This is your own children, grown adults coming out that don't want to be abused and used by you no more. You better wake up, Batgirl. And anybody else that follows this clown. It's okay to help people, but not like the way he's doing it. Not the way he's trying to get help. He's using people's vulnerability in that moment whenever they're vulnerable, victims, to sucker people to send them money. As you're going to see more. There's more. It ain't over. You don't call you're exactly right. You don't call your own kids liars whenever they said it. Whenever there's receipts.
She wanted to know if there was any way to pay back the people who he ripped off, and we're like, dude, don't worry about that. And one of the women that he ripped off, like the woman with the painting, the woman that had cancer and he ended up doxing, she said like a huge part of the reason why he sent that money was because he said he needed it for his daughter. Like after we put this out, and she's like, he didn't give her anything. We're like, nah, dude. But we had already did everything we could in that situation. Sorry, I think I backtracked a little bit. Trying to read that. Commented on my post a while back and told me to start my own YouTube channel and that 80% of his followers were women, and I ignored it. Yeah, he flips the script pretty quickly. Always has when he doesn't get his way. She said she doesn't miss those days at all. She hasn't had much of a childhood. They don't try to be a part of their grandchildren's lives at all. They call every once in a while, but I don't see the point of answering anymore. I don't know how many times he's been to jail because he's been here so many times. He just wants views. If he wanted to help people, he would have helped his own son. Because, he says he's this child advocate. Once he started this whole YouTube kick, I've kept my distance, even more so than before. Like, his family's embarrassed about what he's doing.
He is not, no. He's a grifter. You're right, Krista.
My mother has biracial kids. my half brothers, and he always made remarks about it. It was the first time I ever heard the N word. About little kids, that's horrible. Oh God, that's horrible. Okay.
Your goddamn fucking credit on my goddamn island. This is my pedo island, motherfucker. My pedo island, motherfucker. I live there. You don't fucking belong there, you cunt. Put me in the goddamn pedophile. Put me in pedophile. Put me up. I even got taken down by these pieces of shit. Calm us down for you, okay? You go after my fucking kids and I'll do whatever it takes to goddamn take them, okay? You pay attention to me, motherfucker. They went after my goddamn kids. I didn't dox no goddamn body. I didn't dox nobody. But if that's the only thing you will take me down as, then you go with it, big boy. But they went after my kid, my child, my angel. My raven got taken down by these pieces of shit.
So after that live, we were still talking to her. And he was at first he tried to say it wasn't really her. He it was just a clone, it was fake. Then he's saying we attacked her. Bro, we bought her diapers. Come on now. We put her Cash App up and did everything we possibly could to help her. Something that you've never done. Period. No, instead you took money for yourself that was supposed to go to her towards the children. But yeah, he wants to keep saying we attacked her. We never announced we bought her stuff, or sent money and stuff, but he wants to keep saying we attacked her. Get the fuck out of here with that. In reality, it was him attacking her. Like I said, we were still talking to her. So, when he started doing lives.
See, guys, if they was attacking, they wouldn't about that diapers and stuff. Why ain't he helping? Well, it don't benefit him, that's why. Give me just a second. Let's move forward.
It's insulting her character, trying to make her out like she was this out of control teenager, like she chose to run away. At one point he said that she left because he was out of town working. Well, no, that's not what happened. She told us what really happened, and it's so messed up. But yeah, he lied on her. He not only lied on her, he tried to make her look really bad to make himself look better. And she told us what really happened, why she ended up leaving. So while he's trying to make her look like, this bad person, it was all her fault, of course. In reality, she was living in a trailer with no heat, no electric, no running water, and no food. Still trying to go to school, mind you. A teenage girl. She can't take a bath. She's hungry, sitting in the dark, listening to them argue every night. She already told us, he was in the grips of his addiction and sitting in the dark, dealing with that every day. And to top it all off, he sold everything her and her brother owned. It was her brother, Pam, and Griff living in this trailer with no essentials whatsoever. She's still trying to go to school, but can't even wash clothes. because there's no running water. She's got to go to school dirty, hungry, no clothes. I hope to God she at least got school lunch. And he sold everything her and her brother owned for his addiction. He even sold her mattress. She said he sold my bed. She didn't even have anywhere to sleep in that dark, dirty trailer. He said also, like, of course, she's a liar. She lied about everything. She was not the only person who contacted us, and she wasn't even the first person. Like, everybody's stories match up. Like, all these people are not lying. She's not lying. I wholeheartedly believe everything she said. Absolutely. And it wasn't even easy for her to say it, but he was straight lying on her and trying to make her look bad. So he's a piece of shit. He didn't care how much he hurt her at all. He was willing to hurt her to protect his image. So he said that he was out of town working. She said, no, neither of them even had a job. He needs an under the table job to avoid paying child support for the daughter he denied he had. And this is how we found out about her, too.
Yeah, 5150 me, motherfucker.
Oh, sorry. It looks like there was a random glitch there. So everything here is
Sorry about that, guys.
From after the live stream we did. So here she tells us that her half sister messaged her and he's begging her.
I do apologize, guys. I'm back. Thank you, sweet Katie. I appreciate you guys being patient. Let's finish up the video.
Her for money now. We had no idea that that was his daughter yet. And she asked us, like, did he ever even mention her? Like, do you guys know he has another daughter? And we had no idea. She said he doesn't claim her. He doesn't even claim her. And she also tells us that she's the reason that he went to jail for unpaid child support. Because, I mean, we had seen that, but we assumed that that was for the 2 kids that, you know, he told us he had. We had no idea. So all of that made sense. Like, he was ordered to take the paternity test. Once it came back, he was their father. He was ordered to pay child support. And this is how we found out. He thought we were talking to this daughter that he was hiding. He thought she was our source and that's where we were getting that information. But no, it was because, you know, we found out after the live. But he was harassing his daughter so much we didn't even bring this up. So yeah, she's like, he never even claimed her, and yet here he is asking her for money. And then she says he's still lying on his little videos. Yeah, he was lying. No shit, you guys. Even she knew he was lying. Like, we could have put this out and fucking squashed that a long time ago, but he doesn't want to stop, so here we are. And then that's Joan responding like, what? No, we had no idea he had another daughter. Oh, and that he was also, you know, claiming that he was walking to Florida. Yeah, so we were attacking her so bad. Here, you know, she's asked if, you know, her and the babies got everything they need for the day, like if they need anything. But yes, sure, dude, we attacked her so bad. We're gonna come back to these screenshots because then she sent.
All right, guys. I've been on here for I paused it. I've been on here for almost 2 hours and a half. Thank you, Christine. I'm going to get off from here. And I will be back. We'll go back over it. Not over what I've done played, but I'll finish this out tonight. I appreciate you guys. Exactly, Joan. And that's the whole point. He can care less. He should be the one doing it. But guys, I will see you guys later. I'm going to have to get off from here. And you want to donate for the cause, you can. Here's my Cash App. To help me, he's going to say whatever he wants to. He's going to do whatever he wants to. But this needs to be put out there. Thank you, Christine. And I'm going to continue doing it. There's my Cash App and PayPal. Help me take the calls out to get that. And he ain't the only one, guys. Whenever I'm done with him, there's others. I promise you. And you guys have a good day, and I'll see you back here later. We'll finish up this video and move on to the next one. Oh, it's going to get better. We're going to find out some more about this clown. So you guys have a good day. Stay safe.